it's cold outside.
It's just depressing when it's like cold and grey and horrible and yucky like this, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is the new version that's been shipped. It is. It's basically a combination of the two books that you've got.
Right.
Because we've been using these obviously as a.
Oh, so it's got the thing in the back of it.
They're all It has everything in this one. So it's also on good quality paper, but it's not glossy like that one. You can actually write in this one much easier, because on them it's sometimes hard, isn't it? It does. You write it and it wipes straight off. So I know it's like late in the day for you, but since you've been instrumental in helping to develop it, I thought we'd let you have one. But it's just, this is going out all LD instructors. Well, they've just come in this week, so they'll all be going out. So it's as a result of the testing that we've been doing here. We still haven't got the box to tick to say you were terrified about anything, but it's that's kind of taught us really, that we need to ask that question.
Yeah.
Did anything scare you? Because sometimes you sat here. Well, I think you're probably right. You sit here sometimes looking and you think, well, everything looked like it was okay there, but if you've got all sorts of turmoil going on inside you, well, as we've seen, it doesn't help, does it?
No.
Which is good. But so how did you feel about last week then? I'll have that one.
No, cheers. I'll add it to pile.
Yes, you're going to need a bag to carry everything. So you find it strange how focusing on your breathing affected your driving? It is odd, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is. It's.
Sometimes I forgot to focus on my breathing, and that's when it went a bit squiff. But as soon as I started focusing on it again, it just all went. There you are.
Well, I mean, basically what you're doing there is just letting your subconscious mind do all the work.
Yeah.
But if you try and do it all your conscious mind, things can get in the way. So you find it helpful when we showed you the step stages for coming up to a roundabout. Yeah, it's cool. So the demonstration helped.
Yeah, because it helps sort of like give stages. Where if you read it in the book, it's just like P and an N and and stuff like that. And I forget after I've read it what it means. You know what I mean? Like what they stand for. And it's just letters standing for whatever.
Well, that's how we learn to do a lot of things. That's how you learn how to walk, just by watching what was happening around you. Nobody could give you a lesson then, could you? When you were just tidgy and you taught yourself. It's like when you learn to ride a bike. I always thought, well, help my kids learn to ride a bike. I didn't really, because they only really learn while I'd go to the seat. Yeah. Hey, off you go. And then they fall off a couple of times and think, keen on that. I'll try and do something different. So, progressive and eco driving. So, you've read the workbook and the quiz.
No, I didn't plan for this last week. It's just I didn't know what we were doing this week, because I thought, well, I don't know what's left, so.
High scores, good stuff. Well, let's have a little look. We've kind of got the full set. Progressive and eco-safe driving. We can maybe build that into
last week, didn't we? Just about.
Yeah, we can build that into everything that we do. What do you think we mean by that? Progressive and eco-safe.
Well, like if you were going down your hill, obviously keeping your speed in check, but then also using momentum to carry it up the next one, so you don't have to put your foot on gas as much. Yeah,
well, it's progressive is, if you like, making progress when you can, but not progress for the sake of it. And eco-safe driving is really, a lot of the modern cars, my car's a little green arrow that lights up to tell you to change up.
Yeah.
So you're saving fuel, but it's about really not braking hard, not accelerating hard, not steering. Anything you do harshly, it's going to either cost you fuel or wear on the car, or something that people don't often think about, wear on yourself.
Yeah.
So if you've got a long journey, if you drive for a living, say, for example, and you're driving around like you see people doing sometimes, they're wearing themselves out.
Yeah.
And if you're a salesman, that's not going to help you when you get to your next place. You're not going to really get the sale.
No.
So is there anything, if as you look at that list, is there anything that jumps out from there and says, do that?
But what's defensive driving?
It's about maintaining, it's something that we've done a lot of anyway on the way along. It's working out what people are going to do not having them affect you.
Yeah.
So we've done quite a bit of that, but it's if you think about it, time and space is what it's about. Sounds a bit daft, doesn't it? Time and space sounds a bit Star Trek, but it's giving yourself the time to do what you need to do, or the space to do the thing. And now they're interlinked. If you've got enough space, you've got enough time. If you've got enough time, you've probably got enough space. So it's maintaining a bubble around you, so you know what everybody's doing.
Stopping before you leave your town, before you get to traffic lights and stuff.
Yeah, that's right. And, if you see somebody who's maybe behaving in a bit of a odd way, giving them a wide berth, that kind of stuff. So it's not letting other people's mistakes impact on us.
Yeah.
And we've seen bits and pieces of that, and where people have done outlandish things, and we've just kept it out of the way. So it's that kind of stuff. So
I'm not sure then. I don't really know.
okay, how about we just do a general drive then, and see what we pick up on, and just have a chat about various things as and when they come up.
Yeah.
So if we're looking for a general drive, what do you reckon we could do there? How about... Oh, have you got any ideas where we might do that?
I don't know.
How about if we head out, you know, when we went into Wakefield, if we head out that way, and when we get to the T-junction where we turn right to go to Wakefield, if we turn left,
Yeah.
that brings us back in through
To go
Charleston.
Charleston, Pontefract way.
Yep,
Yep.
down into Pontefract, and then out perhaps past the racecourse, under the motorway.
Past the skate area.
Yep, and then through,
Cass.
yes, I can't remember it. And back around the top that way. Does that sound like a plan?
Yeah. So
That
going
gives us...
basically to Pontefract the top way and then through Castleford to get back
Yeah,
home.
it gives us roundabouts, gives us traffic lights, gives us pedestrian crossings on the way down into Pontefract, a bit of town centre driving, and a bit of open road driving.
Yep.
A bit of everything.
Yep.
Righty-ho.
Okie dokie. I'll turn this down so we're not bothered.
Righty-ho. And we should get the chance to have a chat about maybe stuff that's going on that's to do with eco driving or defensive driving or that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Depending on who's about. I was out with Claire yesterday and we got straight out at just about every junction.
Really?
Never happened before.
And we'll get stuck at everyone today.
Yeah, possibly. Off you go when you're ready. So I was thinking of defensive driving here. What might you reasonably expect to happen here?
Somebody to either come out of the gardens or across the end.
Yeah. So what have you done?
Come slow.
Yeah. It's defensive driving. So we go right at the end of the road. So when you've come out of the junction there, same thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, that looks like fun.
Well done. Good call, because when you first saw them, they were travelling very fast, weren't they?
Yeah, and they weren't indicating either.
No. So sometimes there's a balance to strike between the two, isn't there? You know, we talk about not accelerating harshly or doing anything quickly, but there, you're happier to get past the
Yeah.
bike to get in, so you're compromising one for the other sometimes. It's good to be eco-friendly these days. Yeah, it
Saves you
saves the
more money,
planet,
doesn't
but
it?
it saves you money.
Yeah.
And especially when you consider the price of fuel. So can you navigate yourself to the T-junction where we turn left?
Yeah.
I'll let you crack on with that then. It's little things like that where you're travelling down the road. We have priority. You got your eye on the car in the garage, and you just eased off the
Yeah,
tiniest
because I
bit.
thought, well, they could just
You might
decide
just-
to pull out, so I
That's
thought,
that's
it's
it.
not worth it.
That's defensive driving in a nutshell. It's the same thing here. When we get the green light to go, we have priority.
But somebody else could still come out.
So it's best just to have a quick check, isn't it? And at least if they've made a mistake, they're not going to involve us.
Yeah.
We have to assume everybody else is an idiot. Sometimes you'll be right.
Probably 95%, but oh well.
I couldn't possibly say.
But I always like to stop short as well at junctions, just a little bit if I can see it around corners. Because I know, like at this one, there's loads of buses. I always come out.
Yep, good. Bit of local knowledge.
And obviously buses have a wider swing than everybody else.
They do. So it's being able to spot potential hazards, really.
Yeah.
That's a nice control of the speed.
Oh, they're going to get me at everyone today, aren't they?
Yeah, I've jinxed it, haven't I? Better practice that way though.
True, it'd be no good, would it, if we were practising and we just went round everywhere?
Yeah, just did 30 miles an hour for an hour with nobody about. Situation there with the bus.
Yeah.
You weighed it all up as you came round, then you made the decision to go quite confidently.
Well, there was a guy still stood there waiting to get on, so...
There you go. You weren't going to go anywhere with that guy with his foot on the thing, was he?
No.
Well, hopefully not.
If he did, he'd be in trouble.
Yes, I suspect he might be in seeing the boss in the morning if he did that. But it's picking up that kind of stuff, so you're not just looking up the road, you're looking up the inside of the bus. It's good stuff.
Boyfriend off yesterday when we went to Wakefield, because you know when you're changing lanes in Wakefield in town centre, and you want to move, so you have to indicate first so people know you want to move, don't you? But
You sometimes do in city centres,
it's just like, oh, just try and nudge in there. I'm like, well, if you don't indicate, nobody knows if you want to move, you know what I mean? So there's not going to be anybody that's going to be nice to let you in.
Yes, it should be mirror signal manoeuvre, but sometimes you've got to signal your intent. Otherwise, people will just say, can't let you in, I haven't seen you.
Yeah.
And driving in London, sometimes it's different because it's just the sheer amount of traffic. To describe your drive from your house to here, what word do you think would describe it best?
Easy. Or smooth.
Yeah. Smooth was the one I had in mind. Side. Untroubled. Well done. back.
I don't like bikes or traffic lights. They're always out to get me.
A bike's difficult on days like today because it's a little bit windy. They can get blown around the place.
It's a bit wet as well, so can I get some bits on?
That's good, as you know. Anything else you could do as you're coming in there to keep you thinking in terms of defensive driving? You've given them plenty of room.
Probably go a bit slower.
Probably what to do?
Go a bit slower.
Maybe. Do you think it was safe the way you did it? Yeah. What else might affect you?
Arriving at a different time to traffic.
Yeah.
So I could come out a bit further.
Yeah, possibly. I think you managed that okay as well, though. It's all gone through. How's the guy behind behaving?
A bit more.
He's alright, and he's given us a bit of space, but not everybody's like that, are they?
No.
So linking back to what we said a little bit earlier, assume that you're being followed by an idiot.
Yeah.
And give him the space he needs. So if we then cut back and head out towards Charleston and down into Ponty that way.
So which way do I have to go over to the left?
It does.
Yeah. Well, they've been to right on this one, so...
So obviously when we get the green, they should get the red, but
Yeah.
it's worthwhile maybe just keeping an eye
Checking
just to be sure.
Sneak out, yeah.
Like
Let's
that.
remember.
Good. How'd that feel?
Not bad. I got a good view, so we're alright.
But yeah, the bus, just as if to illustrate the point, went through an amber.
Sure you paid him to do that, didn't you? I'll be here at this time.
I wish it'd be brilliant if I could set that up. So as we came forward there's some hatch markings,
Yeah.
which you've done the right thing, you've kept out of. Sometimes, I mean, can you think of a situation where you might think about cutting across those?
If there's an ambulance coming.
Maybe. Get you out of the way, that's for sure. But
Yeah.
how about if there's somebody pressing you from behind and it looked like if you took the right route, they might cut in? In those circumstances, I might be tempted just to go across because it's a dotted line at the edge.
Yeah.
So you can go in. If it's a solid line, you're not allowed in at all unless it's an emergency. So I would maybe think about, if I thought, let's say for example that blue car had been a bit of a bully on the way down,
Yeah.
I'd be thinking, I need to defend my position here. I'd be keeping an eye on him.
Yeah.
I think it's all part of that. You're playing the what if game really. But what if this guy does do something daft? What if they don't do what they should do? But very nice the way you did it anyway. We had a little bit of a disadvantage here because I'm not on familiar turf, but we turn left up here somewhere, don't we? I think.
Just follow the road down to it. Right? I don't know, we'll look at signs when we get
I'll
there.
have a look when we get there.
It's a possibility, because it might go
adventure.
through a street house, I think, about it sometimes.
Oh, so you can go both ways.
I think so.
Well, you see, you learn something new every day.
Don't take my word for it, but I think you can.
Is this the way we came back? No.
No.
Sorry. Forget that.
I think if you just keep going straight, I think you can go through Charleston then further than Ponty.
Oh, I see. Right.
I think.
So I see. Yeah. So we'll head towards Ponty then.
Yes, it's to
I thought the road went round and this was a T-junction, but it's not, is it? I'll shut up then. So yeah, being defensive is about what's in front as well, but it's also about trying to predict what other people might do. Not only the people behind, but sometimes you might get your eye on a road coming up here and you think, well, what are they going to do?
Yeah.
Somebody might be catching the wagon. Is he going to pull out? That's a nice control of speed, well done. Doesn't feel like a 40 this one, does it? It's big and wide open. Sponsored by.
Yeah. And just big it up while we're talking.
Interesting concept. See, you've got your eye on the black car behind you. What have you noticed about him?
He's going up a bump. And then backing off a bit and then coming a bit closer.
So as we get out of the village here, what do you reckon he's going to do?
Probably try and overtake it.
It'd be a silly thing if he does, but again, in terms of defensive driving, we want to keep ourselves out of trouble.
Yeah.
So if he does do it, do all you can to help him get out of the way. What do you think? Think he's going to chance it here?
Possibly.
Yep.
Bye.
So because you're aware of him, he's not affecting us at all.
Yeah.
Right, crack on, son, get on with it.
Well, he's doing more than 40 minutes that way.
He most certainly is. Well, we were doing 40 when he came past, so... Oh, we were heading up towards 40,
Yeah.
so how fast do you think he was going when he came by?
Maybe 60.
Bless him. Well, that's what defensive driving's all about. It's being aware of these people and if you like, making decisions for them sometimes. But certainly keeping yourself out of trouble.
Yeah.
And I suppose we have to give them the benefit of the doubt and think, well, you might be a really good driver just on a bad day.
Yeah, maybe.
So what was in your mind as you came there? Where was the potential danger?
Thinking about the bend and then that's we might pull out there real quick.
I figured that was it, because when we came up to it, I saw you check your mirror and I felt the car ease back.
Just
But didn't know for sure, so I knew to ask. So if we follow the road ahead all the way through to Ponty. you feeling as we're negotiating these traffic lights and such?
Fine.
Cool. What are you thinking as we come in here?
Yeah. Thinking it might change, but probably not gonna. And you might get some late turners the other way.
Yep. You do see that quite a lot here, don't you? You've kept yourself a good distance away from it. That's good. What was you thinking there?
Well, because there's not a lot of space and, you know, they might not set off straight away.
Good. Good stuff. Plus, if he does do something stupid and hits the car in front, you've still got room to get round.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Well, if there's any late starts going round, this car in front would have to put brakes on, wouldn't it? And then he'd have gone into back of it.
Yeah.
And then I'd have got him back in if I were right up his bum.
There's too many distractions for drivers these days. Radios, CD players,
Yeah.
telephones, iPads. Passed a guy on the motorway the other day that was actually reading a newspaper.
Really?
Unbelievable. On what planet is that a good idea? Reading a newspaper. Just like, my goodness.
But bus drivers do it. I know they don't do it when they're driving, but they pull up and they sit there with newspaper out and then they set off again. But when they're setting off, they're still faffing trying to put newspaper away.
Yeah, it's good we feel safe in the cars. We don't see the danger, I suppose. Oh, I forgot about these roadworks.
Yeah.
Tell you what, should we go left at the lights?
Yeah?
And then we go up to North Featherstone and go along past the golf course into Ponty that way. There's not much practice to be had sat in queues of traffic, is there?
No.
So where's the danger here, do you think? In terms of keeping yourself safe defensively, thinking about other road users.
Pedestrians crossing over after lights have turned to green for us to go. They're crossing over our corner and turning in. Go say hi to me, Dad.
Oh yeah, his shop's up here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Lots going on there, wasn't there?
Yeah.
I was also thinking in terms of that last traffic light. If you remember the last time we were there, that car came up on the right and just forced its nose in, didn't it?
Yeah.
Which was just like, you're going where? That's an interesting situation with the black car turning right. You give him more room. What was you thinking there?
Thinking, well, it's slowing down and it's going right, but I don't want him to, you know, to make it come back into him sort of thing. But I don't want to have to stop completely.
What might have made him stop?
Because if there was a car coming down the way.
Anything else?
Somebody crossing over the road.
Yeah, I thought you'd noticed them. It's well done. That's why I asked, because as the pedestrian took a step towards the path, I felt you ease off.
Yeah.
So I thought you'd seen him. That's well done. That's excellent observation. Hence the questions. So that's a very complicated situation that you've worked out, which is great, and acted accordingly. That's what defensive driving's about. Like there. initial look, it would probably feel like you'd slowed for that car coming the other way.
Yeah.
But I suspect it was the little girl running.
Yeah. They always freak me out, kids like you know, not on reins or your pushchair or whatever.
Well, we certainly hit plenty of hazards coming along here, haven't we?
Yeah.
This was good.
We go right when we get to the crossroads, don't we?
Yes, please. Well, I suppose we can go ahead as well, can't we?
That takes us through Cass and Asda and that, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
And Cutside, I think.
That may be more interesting.
Yeah, could drive around Cass if you want, I don't mind.
Okay.
I know it well enough, I have to walk across town every morning to get bus. Because they shut bus station up there for refurbishment now.
Oh, have they? Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
But they didn't tell anybody, there were no signs in Cass bus station or on buses. So yesterday morning I got kicked off bus station. I had to walk all the way across town to Bottom Town to get a bus next one to work. Then got kicked off at Bottom Town after work and I had to walk up to the bus station to get a bus. So that was fun.
Don't sound like you're too impressed by it.
I wouldn't mind if there'd been any warning, but there weren't. They're just like, right, this is end of service, get off now.
That's it,
Alright.
off you get.
Where do I get a bus from? Well, you have to walk up to the bus station for that. Oh, cheers. But there's signs in Wakefield bus station about Cass bus station being shut, but there's no sign in Cass bus station about it.
Mine, it looked like it needed some money spent on it.
Yeah. I were in there the other day when it was pouring it down, the roof were leaking. Straight on.
Yes, please.
Please don't make me stop. We're struggling now.
Little. You think it's struggling enough to go down a gear, or do you think it's doing alright?
Yeah, I picked up. Probably could have gone down against the roof, I thought it was
Maybe.
going past my school in a minute.
Similar situation there. Although we have priority. We weren't going to get it, were we?
No.
You've done the right thing and kept yourself out of trouble. Quite often see people doing that kind of thing where they'll, so the situation you're in now, you come out of his way because he's coming through. I've seen people where they'll just go over and they'll stay out trying to make some kind of point, but what they don't think about is the consequences of what if that goes wrong. You might have made your point and you can argue it quite nicely in the next hospital bed. Yeah, but I was right.
Still got 6 months off work.
It's very easy to get angry when you're driving with the things that other people do or don't do.
You'd have thought we'd all been taught the same, that we'd all do it the same, but we don't do it.
No, I think some of it's to do with the last great freedom.
Yeah.
So we get really uptight if people get into our space. But
same way as me.
Extra oomph coming out, wouldn't it? So if we follow the road ahead here towards Cutsike. That's okay. This one will do.
Oh well. Thinking ahead. Never mind. We'll try again next time.
Okay. See, that happen on tests quite a lot, you know. Sat in the back sometimes, you see people go the wrong way.
Really?
Yeah. You're not being tested on your sense of direction.
Housing village, I thought they'd build them all a little bit different, wouldn't you?
So, at the roundabout, take the road to the left, please.
Yep.
Have another go. They could take eventually.
Straight to the bottom, yeah.
Yes, please. We'll stick with this road until we get to another roundabout, and then we'll turn left back up past Whitwood and over our favourite roundabout. So what are you going to do about that?
Slow down until I can get past him.
Yeah. There's nowhere here to go, so there's no point in hurrying past them with the traffic coming the other way, so you've taken the sensible option there. Yeah. It hasn't cost you any time. Smell gas.
Always come down here.
That's really strong though, isn't it?
It always seems to be just down that road.
Sometimes you just got to make the best of a bad job.
Yeah. No, the car won't slowing down anywhere.
No. Again, that's another one of those situations, isn't it? It's where you think, well, he should have slowed down too, but if you don't take account of his actions, he's going to involve you in whatever happens. So yeah, so have a think of the consequences of that, you know, the impact it has on the rest of your day, or the rest of your hour, the rest of your day, the rest of your life, really. It's very easy for the red mist to come down and driving. And left at the roundabout, please.
don't wait, just barrel straight on through, why not?
So would you see it?
Stop there,
Oh, right.
don't know what they're trying to turn into a little shop village or something, I don't know.
What was that before?
They weren't there before? I'm sure it was just like an empty half-built warehouse thing that nobody had ever built.
So how would you say your decision making's been today?
Good. What do you reckon?
Have you got into trouble at all?
Have I got into trouble, sorry?
Yeah.
No. Which one's windscreen wipers?
Right hand side.
Oh.
The first click will just put it on every few seconds. Next click puts it on all the time.
This on that rain sensor thing.
Yes. Well, let cars do all your thinking for you. That's good. You had your eye on them. Sometimes it's just, it's almost like a sixth sense, isn't it? You just look and think, not sure they're going to stop.
No. I'm not sure they're even going to look.
Well, yeah, there's that too. So, when we get to the roundabouts, farther signs towards Normanton. You work your way through these roundabouts? I'm sure you've been on them before.
Probably.
Shout out if you feel you need help. You've seen people jump red lights here before, haven't you?
Yeah.
Good. Through Normanton Town Centre?
Yeah.
Show me the sights.
Not very big, but yeah.
So would you say you dealt with that?
Fine. It nearly went through a red light, but because I was too busy looking to see what lane I needed to be in.
Yeah. Could you have stopped there, do you think?
Probably not when I saw it, because, you know, something behind me probably crashing into me if it just suddenly.
How close was the car behind you?
Not majorly close, but close enough.
Well, I would have possibly continued there as well, because if you brake, you would have had to brake fairly firmly,
yeah.
and you're dependent then on the person behind taking notice of what's going on. You've done that with the other way.
No.
So I don't think there's anything wrong with the way you did it. I want to teach you there to pass the test and such, but if you're on test in that sort of situation, haven't anything you might be able to do you think? Assuming you're going to make the same decision, which I think was the right one.
Probably glance to right.
Maybe?
To see if anybody would come round.
Possibly.
And then possibly explain to the instructor why you did it.
Yeah. Tell him exactly why you've done it. And then he knows. He knows it's not incompetence and that you've actually thought it through and you have taken what was the safer option.
Yeah. Bus was a bit wide.
Was a bit, wasn't he? But you took a
and one as wide, so I could go past when they were past.
And in terms of defensive driving, that was the right thing to do. So is it right here or the next set of lights?
Right here.
Right, okay. I'll let you show me the sights. Okay, you got me on unfamiliar territory again.
It's becoming a habit, isn't it? That's a little box car. Jimmy always wants me to get square cars. Like every time we go up that motorway, he's like, "Why do you go into them?" It's like this square box thing.
What is it? A Nipper X?
Not a clue. Box.
It is a bit. Stephanie, my daughter, had her first car was a Fiat Panda, the boxy one.
Yeah.
The four-wheel drive, and she loved it. She did loads of miles in it. And eventually went to Panda heaven. Well done.
You want to get a bus coming round now?
Yeah. We've crept over the line a teeny bit, but it is only a teeny bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Key thing was you were aware of what was happening ahead of you.
Yeah, if a bus comes around, you'll just have to do a shuffle, won't you?
He'll step in it. They don't need to swing as wide as I see them doing anyway. I used to drive buses. Not that hard to manoeuvre.
Got to see what behind green van.
Oh no, you were right. Absolutely. It's you can't take chances in those circumstances where you can't see. Again, that's the defensive thing to do. I've not seen before. I take it this brings us round to the other lights.
Yeah, it will do eventually. Oh, is that where you want to go?
Yeah, we'll do the loop and then back down Cass Road. Tight, isn't it?
Yeah. The buses go around there as well.
A bit tight for buses, I imagine.
Sometimes.
Yeah, I imagine it will be. Can you navigate your way home from here?
Yeah.
I'm sure you can. Oh,
what are you doing?
Interesting.
I don't know what you thought you were doing then.
Were you ready for him?
Yeah.
You were, weren't you? We often talk about expecting the unexpected.
You have to end though, don't you, sometimes? I mean, that was just like completely ridiculous.
Well, if you'd been a little closer, there's not a lot you could have done about it, is there really? But the golden rule in driving always is never drive so fast that you can't stop in the distance you can see to be clear.
Yeah.
And you were travelling at that speed, weren't you? So you were able to actually stop. Which gear we need?
There we go.
Good stuff.
Oh, my mother's behind me. Well, that's interesting, isn't it? You watched her been following us the whole time. Yeah, I'm just going to park in the middle now and just park her up.
Got to park down on the right so she's got her space. Otherwise you'll be getting told off.
She won't dare.
And relax. So, how did that feel? How do you think that all went? We did, as it happened. You'd think we'd planned that for a defensive drive one, because we saw a lot of stuff happening, didn't we? Do you think you dealt with all of those hazards as well as you could have done? I mean, the last one was a very interesting
crazy,
one,
wasn't
it? Oh, it's just, and it's. How did it make you feel when that happened?
Which one?
The van.
The van. I'm thinking, I know you're going to do it. I can see it. I can see you coming past, and I'm thinking, I'm going to have to stop because there's no way I can fit in that gap.
Not first with a choice, were you?
No.
But it's surprising how that can then rattle you a bit, can't it, really? Because it's just like, why would he do that? It's, I mean, he took so many chances there.
Well, you could see me coming down.
Well, what else might have gone wrong for him? Any idea?
Bus might have set off.
Yeah. Where would he go then?
Yeah.
It's just like, that's just silly because there was nobody getting on and off the bus, was the bus was looking to move off.
Yeah.
So that's a dodgy one. So you've dealt with that well, but not to worry, you were stalled afterwards. But do you think the two things were linked?
Possibly.
It's surprising, you know, when things like that happen, they can impact on you. What it does is it probably picks your heart rate up a little bit, or just gives you a little bit of a shock. And so is there anything you can do to help with that, do you think? If you were going to replay that and redo it, anything you might change? What would you do different?
I'd do my breathing.
Maybe, yeah. Because it can have an effect. You know, we'd driven for 57 minutes there and not stalled once. Yeah. And then something like that happens and you get the stall afterwards. It doesn't matter because you dealt with it. but it can rattle you. And I think we can sometimes be surprised at how much it can rattle you and the effect it can have. But that was a potentially very dangerous situation. Because he just didn't think.
Started off, he'd have gone into all them cars outside, wouldn't he, if he'd have to go anywhere?
Or worse, he might have run into us. It's just like, so, no, it's good. I mean, if you have a look at the stuff that we were working on, the defensive driving and how do you think your eco driving was through that?
Not bad. Struggled up a couple of hills. Because obviously I'd had to go up and slow because of traffic lights. So I couldn't use momentum to carry me up. Yeah,
maybe could have dropped down there, but we talked also, didn't we, about steering, braking and doing everything gently.
Yeah.
How do you think you did that today?
Fine, apart from when we made me brake harshly, with Van and that car coming across.
Not a lot you can do about that, is there?
That's what they've done in it, not me, so.
But in all the stuff that you've done, you've planned for stuff, you're spotting what's happening. When I asked you the questions about, there was one or two really quite complicated situations like that one. I figured you'd eased off because the pedestrian looked like he was going to step out. But I'd want to just say, was that for the pedestrian? Because you could have just gone, yeah. So it was nice for me to investigate that and see that you've picked all of that information up and you've acted accordingly. And then the next one with the little girl, it would have been easy to think it was the car coming the other way, while the reality was it was probably both.
Yeah.
So no, it's good. It's good. And the question I asked you earlier on about, how would you describe it? Smooth as how it feels at this side. If you had the box to tick, did anything rattle you or frighten you today? Would you tick it?
Just for that car coming over the side of the road, when he came around the corner. And
give me a fright there.
I didn't see him, and he were on my side of the road, like 3/4 of the way over. So.
Didn't give me much of a chance, did he?
No.
If I was ticking a box for the same thing, that would be the one that did me, or the potential here, because that could have gone badly wrong.
That was cramped, that, wasn't it?
Everything, both of those situations, totally out of your control. Nothing you can really do about it. So we do meet these things sometimes. The guy coming on the other side of the road, well, you were driving slow enough so that you could stop within the distance you can see to be clear, so you were in control there, but that one there, not really many other ways you could have played that. So I think that goes down as what it feels like from this side. I'll tell you what it looks like. You can tell me if I'm right. You looked like you were in control all the time. You didn't look flustered at any point.
No, I felt comfortable today.
Good. That's probably a turning point, I think, isn't it? Really, it's that there comes a point for everybody where it just starts to go back, and then we're refining and tweaking and stuff after that. But there comes a point where you become a driver, where you're making the right decisions based on what you've seen and you're controlling the car. Have another think about how you think today went, what you want to work on next time. So we've hit pretty much all sorts of stuff today, which has been good. Well done. Next week you're Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Is that right?
No.
Oh, rats.
We've got a suspension of the other chef at work, so now I'm doing all the shifts. I have got a calendar in the house, so I'll pop in and get it, and it's colour coded as to what days I've got off.
All right. Well, just drop me a message on Facebook when your days offer. I can't do Wednesday, Thursday, Friday this week because I'm running a course.
I think it'll mostly be Tuesdays because they're the ones that I've booked off as holidays.
Oh,
and the rest of them will be working. So it's mostly Tuesdays and I think Friday and stuff like that. So.
Okay, well, we'll fit in with what you've got.
Yeah.
Great. If you just drop me it, we'll provisionally say Tuesday at the same time, and then you can let me know yeah or nay.
Yeah.
Brilliant stuff.
Okay.
Have a look at the new book, and I'd be interested in your feedback, see what you think of it. Although I'll be using both of them, so it's not that one, idiot.
Start me
that one. So it's
driving instructor thing with you.
There's actually less pages, but it's the same thickness because the pages are slightly heavier quality.
Yeah.
But it's lighter, which is odd. But have a look at it and let me know what you think.
Yeah, I will.
Well done for that. Job's a good one.